Hi, this is Herman from Dragon Force here. I want to say hi to all the readers here at Guitarra Pro. Take care and keep practicing.
Excellent. We want to know, when you're composing, are you improvising, right? Maybe in a slow way or something like that. Do you think more in arpeggios, or you think in scales, or both? What's the process?
Well, you kind of have to think. I think if you're composing or writing, you would start off by not actually playing the guitar, because what happens is, I think no matter what, the guitar player, your connection between your brain and your mouth singing the notes is going to be more advanced than the fingers making the notes.
Okay.
You know, to sing it's easier than going.
Yeah.
You know, so we actually, when we do music, we always sing it first. We sing it in our mind, sing the solo, and then we pick up the guitar and then play along from then onwards. You know, then we think, you know, later.
Okay.
But I think the singing melody is the first thing we actually think of when we do the music. Yeah.
Yes.
Later on, you improvise through.
The fastest way is to get the notes, the things that are in your head and things like that.
Yeah, because sometimes if you pick up the guitar, you end up playing the same patterns.
Yes.
So to break out patterns, you just sing.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes. What skills you think a guitar player student need to know in a basic way and medium level?
I think, of course, you need to learn the pentatonic scales.
Yes.
You know, I know a lot, but even as an advanced level, pentatonic scale can be taken in a hard way, because the expressing and the bend from that note into that note, you know, it's hard. But I think pentatonic, all the modes are important. As for beginning, I think you have to learn that on the first year of playing. Okay. Those things are must. Arpeggios kind of come later. You know, because arpeggios, or you need, because everyone learns chords. So if you say arpeggio just a broken chord, then you don't even need to learn it. You're only learning the finger pattern than actual music. But
so you recommend to learn first the pentatonics and then major scales and stuff like that?
I think you should learn them at the same time, because it's an art that you can never finish. That means there's no. I don't think there's a way of knowing too much of something. So you have to learn all at the same time, so you build it together. Because otherwise you only know pentatonic and then you can't play a major. And if you only know major, then you know it's easier to make a pentatonic sound good. It's harder to make a major sound or mode sound good because of the semitone and stuff.
Okay, so
everything slowly, gradually.
How did you organize your practice
routine?
These days, now, it depends what I have to do next, because there's so many things to learn in music, like we just mentioned, cover modes, arpeggio, timing, counting, improvising. Then by making perfect technique and wrong technique, playing wrong technique, as I mean like going like this and everything that shouldn't be doing as a student, but when you're performing, you have to do everything wrong to make it interesting. You know, of course, if you play like this, your guitar is already out of tune.
Yes.
If you do that, the guitar is out of tune. There's only one position that the guitar is in tune: flat, parallel, gravity. So the way I do it is, okay, I have a show, I have to practice the songs. This is what I have to practice: timing and the click. But if there's no more show, I can practice learning other music. Maybe try to listen to some jazz, some blues, some rock, and learn different licks.
Right now, you are in a high level you are a guitar player in a high level. But when you were in a medium level, let's say, how do you organize your time? I mean, in basic things like timing, chords, technique, sweep picking.
Well, I think each in our time as a musician, you have a different challenge. So if you're playing with a band, you have to practice playing with the band. Like, so, you know, if I've been playing the songs, maybe improvising. It really depends on the person's route in music. Some people would never want to learn arpeggios or scales because they're not interested. They don't want to play leads. So I wouldn't say you have to learn it. I mean, it's good to learn it, So I think what works for them and what they enjoy is more important. I'm from the school where you don't force people to learn because I'm a self-taught person. I only learn what I want to learn.
Nice point.
So,
Good point.
At the stage of what you want to do, music is what you need to learn.
Okay. How was the process of working together with Ibanez on your signature guitar? I mean, in a technical way, what sound did you been searching for?
I studied the guitar, art of the guitar itself a lot. So I had to learn everything from setting up, the clearance, certain wood sound certain way, pickup positions, and if strings are going to get stuck on the pickups at the back or anything. So I studied the art of guitar making.
Okay.
For a while from my guitar technicians. So we spent 3 years, I think, making this guitar from the grips and from the cutaway. So my hand slides into
nice.
And the way the bridge and the reaction of all the. We have 9 different pickup. There's coil splitting. So you can have a kind of strat sound, you can have single coil twang sound. You can split between these two, that two, that two, that two. So we spent a lot of time doing that along the DiMarzio pickup. So I don't know. We going through prototypes of guitars and taking them on tour, because if you play a guitar at home, sitting down, almost everything is going to be easier than you standing up. So we took prototypes on tour, and I was playing them, picking them, throwing them to make sure they stay in tune. So that's why I can kick the guitar and everything, and it stays well. So it's a long process, actually.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years of testing a lot of different guitars from 22 frets to 24 frets. And I used to play a 22 frets guitar for a long time, for I guess 15 years. I played 22 fret, and to switch to 24 frets, the pickup position moved. So it sounds different from what I'm used to. So we had to adjust the neck pickup to make it sound like a 22, because the position of the frets and the movement. That's why you got a cut here to move the neck pickup as close to the warm section.
Okay.
And instead of most guitar, if you do a coil split, it splits to this pickup. But this one, when it gets to here on the split coil, it splits to the one nearest to the neck as well. So these kind of little things, they're not like revolutionary, but a lot of guitars don't do it.
For you.
Yeah, a lot of guitars just don't do it. I mean, it's a bitch to wire at the back. Yeah, the wiring is really.
Yes.
I don't even know how to wire it myself, because I know how to wire, but it's really hard to wire. But to get the split, so to get the warmest part and all that, so that took a lot of time. And while we're at it, the guitar and the sound, the pickups. Usually people don't like middle pickups because they say it gets in the way of playing.
Yes.
And if you turn it down, the balance between the 3 pickups become off. You turn and it become really quiet. You go here, it's really loud. So we have to make this pickup more powerful, so it can just go down, still balancing the 3 pickups. The position where you float, it's a balanced tone.
Level.
Yeah, so it's a lot of time on the pickups as well as the guitar, to make them work together, because you have a thin body.
Okay. There's a reason because you get a 2-pieces guitar. This one.
Oh, why there's a bolt on? Why is the 2-piece bolt on? Well, I prefer the sound of the bolt on guitar, because I know a lot of people say neck through body is better, more sustained, but the neck through body is much slower into attack. So the sound becomes slower. So a maple neck with neck bolt on is always going to be a faster attack because of the brightness. So I think a lot of people say neck through only, but I really believe bolt on have that classic sound as well, the rock sound, the attack, fast attack.
A little more rocker.
Yeah.
Nice. So for the final question, do you prefer analog stomp boxes, or do you use
digital or tracks
or something like that?
I use rack with different. You can see there's a rack there with different analog pedals into a patch mate. So you can patch in the analog pedals into a digital preamp, into different part of the signal. So the maximum flexibility. So, just got, I don't want to say that digital is better, I want to say analog is better. I think the best is to use the both of different worlds. Some things sound better analog, with a neck pickup, and some things sound better on the kind of a digital preamp level. As long as it's warm coming out of a power amp.
Okay.
Which is not a transistor.
Do you use the effects loop on the amplifier? For some effects?
My preamp effect loops go to 8 effects loops.
Wow.
So I can pull in all the things in individually. So I use the effects of the rack, but also the analog effects separately. And because you use the loop, so you bypass the signal when you're playing all the time. So only when you want that pedal, it MIDI patch in. Okay.
Nice. So I think that's all.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So I got really long answers.
It's nice.
It's nice for us.